Hey, what's going on? This is Josh from EndYourAnxietyForGood.com, and today I want to talk about generalized anxiety disorder. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because it's something that I've been dealing with for pretty much most of my life, and I didn't really know that I was dealing with it for so long. And if you're somebody that's out there that's dealing with a lot of anxiety as of late, and you're just feeling like you can't move forward, I can resonate with where you're at because I've dealt with it. I've dealt with the confusion. I've dealt with the frustration. I've dealt with, just trying to figure out why I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling. And that you're probably asking yourself that question. And it can be very difficult because I can recall times where I have anxiety attacks for no reason, and I didn't know exactly why I was experiencing them. And then I would be, everything was good, everything was, going fine, and then all of a sudden I'd have a panic attack out of nowhere. So it made me question a lot of things. I started thinking that I was having, physical problems and physical issues. Then you start thinking that you're crazy and that you're having mental problems, and it could be a downward spiral because of generalized anxiety disorder. Sometimes we make the smallest things the biggest deal for whatever reason. And I've always been a very analytical person. I felt like I've always thought a little bit differently than most people because I would, focus on the smallest things, and they'd come out to be the biggest things. And so I decided to seek out some help and some advice. And I remember going to the doctor. I went to the doctor, and they wanted to prescribe me with medication. Like a lot of people, a lot of the videos that I see out there, it seems as though, you always end up going to the doctor first, and they prescribe you with medication. And what that medication does is it just suppresses the anxiety, and it basically covers it up. It's still an underlying issue no matter what. I know I'm not an expert, I'm not a doctor, but when you consult with somebody, it's better to consult with somebody that's been through it before versus somebody that's never been through it at all. And you see a lot of doctors, they don't really feel for you. They just say, okay, try this pill, and then come back and we'll see how you're doing after a few weeks. They don't realize that in my mind, it's a subconscious problem. It's a subconscious issue. And a lot of people say it's genetic, that we, had it at birth, which I think has a lot to do with it. But I believe that we can also change the way that we feel about our anxiety. So if you want to learn more about generalized anxiety disorder, I can tell you that I've done a lot of research. I've gotten in through the phase where I was typing in a lot of my side effects that I was dealing with. A lot of the things that I was dealing with, heart palpitations, the way that I would think, and the way that I would just focus on one thing, and it would become a huge thing. So what I started doing is I started getting really involved in self-help. And one of the biggest things that I've learned is to consistently replace old habits with new habits. Okay, so if you're dealing with, anxiety right now, then what you want to do is start listening to things. I know this might sound crazy. This might sound like something that you've already heard, okay? But listen to things that are consistently positive. Like I listen to Tony Robbins a lot. I listen to Bob Proctor a lot. Just, abundance thinking. And what's going to happen is a lot of people will listen to that kind of stuff for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then maybe they don't see results and they quit. But it's the constant repetition. Every time we get up in the morning, we put ourselves in a certain way of thinking. I apologize, that's actually my phone going off. But we put ourselves in this state of mind, in this state of thinking. And then it's funny because it starts to manifest when we focus on one problem or one issue. Maybe it's a financial issue. Then you think about all the things that you have to do. And then you hold it off and hold it off, and the anxiety builds up more and more and more. And to the point where you have, a full-blown panic attack, and you really can't release it. It's very difficult for you to release it because you're consistently focused. You can't stray your focus away on what you are focusing on. No matter what somebody tells you, somebody that's never dealt with anxiety before can't really relate to you because there's no way of, it's so difficult to get out of that realm. So what you need to do before you even get in that state of mind is, they talk about meditation, they talk about yoga, they talk about running, and you need to be willing. You need to be willing to go out no matter how depressed you are, no matter how much anxiety you have that day. You need to get out of your own way, and you need to be willing to go do those things and try those things, just to try them. But consistently replace negative thoughts with positive thoughts. And I'm going to tell you right now, I know it's not easy, but I know that you can do it, and I believe in you, and I've been through where you're currently at right now. So whether you're having anxiety because of the job that you're at, or because you're feeling maybe you're feeling inadequate for some reason, and you just don't know what to do, you don't know who to turn to, and it's really hard to kind of get your thoughts together and have people relate with what you're going through. Because having anxiety and having general anxiety disorder is, you feel like you're kind of one of a kind type of person. So, what I would say based off of my experience, and it's made a huge difference in my life, is consistently put positive things in your mind. Get rid of the people in your life that are not, impacting your life in a positive way. Okay? And I know it's difficult. It's not the easiest thing to do, but you got to start with changing your habits. Write down your current habits and what habits may be leading to the anxiety that you're having. You see, like, I'm a perfectionist. If I feel like I don't get things done in a certain amount of time and I don't get my work done, it builds up. So what I do is I try to section my day off in sections in what I need to accomplish throughout the day. And another thing is, when you start feeling like you're having a panic attack or anxiety is coming on, and you've probably read this in forums before, but you have to put your mind in a different place. You just have to put your mind in a different place. And it doesn't happen overnight, and you hear about people trying it over and over and over again. They don't have success. The more, it's like conditioning. It's like conditioning your body. You have to condition your mind to think in a certain way. Because what our paradigms are doing is they're telling us negative things. So you got to be conscious of the thoughts that are going into your mind. Because anxiety first manifests through thoughts, and then you have the physical side effect of anxiety. Okay? So if you'd like to know what I've been using to help myself get through anxiety, what I want you to do is I want you to click the link below. There's also the URL across this video. But I really hope you've gotten some value from this, from somebody that's dealt with anxiety and that's first had trouble just telling people my problem, my issue that I was dealing with. I had troubles doing that. But I finally got to a point that, I was reading on, I was seeing on YouTube, I'd read through forums. There's hundreds of thousands of people just like myself that are dealing with the same thing. And, a lot of people that are dealing with anxiety have issues with telling people that they're dealing with it because they're embarrassed. And then even though we hear that thousands of people deal with it, for some reason, we still get embarrassed and afraid. But again, that's consistently putting thoughts in your head to replace that old thought process that you have. It's like reprogramming your brain. That's what you have to do. You have to reprogram yourself. You have to reprogram the way that you think. So, and it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of consistent effort. It takes a lot of discipline, because people are going to do whatever they can in a lot of situations to bring you out of your place of prosperity. And so, set a schedule aside to meditate every day. Set a schedule aside to, give yourself time to really set a schedule up. Maybe schedule out your day. Whatever, everybody has different issues. You see, mine was perfectionism. Yours might be something else, but you can still apply the same strategies. So, start working out. And if you're depressed, you don't want to get out and work out, you got to pick yourself up. You got to do it. You got to take that first step, because you got what it takes. So what I'd like you to do is just listen to the comments below, your thoughts on this video. I hope you got some value from it. And I look forward to talking to you soon. This is Josh Elder, and we'll see you very soon.